All right, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, we have it opened. We're going to return it tomorrow. Don't forget to vote. These little in between elections are very important, you know. Just like getting your voice out there being heard. Do I think that the Republicans in Donald Trump are going to cheat as much as they're allowed to cheat? Yes, I do. But other than that, I believe that you still have the right to vote. You still have you need to be heard if you can. This is what I'm trying to get at. And I know a lot of you don't want to wait in lines and junk like that. And that's up to y'all. Ours is real small. This is just a mail-in ballot, anyways. But don't forget to vote, y'all. Is all I'm saying. Don't let them just take it by default. I know the last election in 2024, there was a lot that just abstained from voting. I fully understand that. I was so sick and tired when Trump came in to the stage that it was him and Hillary. I mean, I was from Arkansas. I guess I still kind of am. I have family there. But I take a shine more to Colorado is what I'm trying to get at. How to say it? I just with the Clintons being our governor before they were president and first lady and all that jazz, they were horrible. They were just horrible people. They kept people in jail, they're in the prison thing past their time because they liked the way they served them food at the governor's mansion. How much more of a autocracy kind of mentality do you need not to vote for somebody? And they stole the silverware and the china from the White House. You can't say, oh, oopsie, I didn't know that was not mine or whatever. Come on. They're just embarrassing people. But that's just like Trump. He is if there was a picture of embarrassment, it would be Donald Trump on the national stage or the international stage or whatever. Now we're back with the same exact trade agreement for soybeans we had before he derailed the economy, before he caused the biggest tax increase, because that's what this is. This is a consumer tax. Parroting an idiot doesn't make you sound like a genius, is what I'm trying to get at. And Trump is a fucking idiot. It's still a consumer tax. You can call it whatever you want. It's a consumer tax, y'all. It just drives up the price, drives up inflation. It's an economy destroying tactic. The Russians should have been, I'm sure he is some form of an asset to the Russians. I just believe that. But do I believe that only they're playing us and that's it? No. The vetting service for the alphabet people are in charge, y'all. You can take that to whatever you want. Am I a conspiracy theorist? No, I'm not. But if the alphabet people weren't in charge, my God, we're in some deep, horrifying, fucked up shape as a country. We have an orange-faced meth head that literally tore down the east wing of the White House in the middle of the night. That's not a toaster, y'all, in the middle of the kitchen floor. He's not right. There's nothing correct about this man. There's nothing correct about the pedophile protection party in desperately trying to bury the Epstein files. Okay? If you're not the pedophile protection party, release the Epstein files and or own up to exactly what you are. Quit hiding behind religion and every other form of bullshit and just say, yes, we're the pedophile protection party, because that is who you are when you're hiding the Epstein files. When you're allowing people like Donald Trump, like the Prince Andrew guy, like Elon Musk, all of them, whoever has been out there, need to be prosecuted for what they've done. They don't get a pass on that, y'all. It don't work that way. Wow. But just like am I some neo-Christian, somebody or another? No, I'm not. I just read the book, okay? But I read it a lot. I mean, I drove truck for like 20 years. I was bored. And in my old lady, she was batshit crazy, with the religion. She would be in this Christian national cult bullshit. I mean, do I know that for? Nope. I'm just saying that would be, yeah, I could believe it, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know, is what I'm trying to get at. I've not spoken to her in 12 years. We got divorced 12 years ago, or no, more than that, maybe 15 years ago. She used a one-liner in the divorce to, however you want to say it. She got the kids to say that they no longer wanted contact, and that was written in the divorce, because I knew she was batshit fucking crazy. And she used that against me perfectly. I'll give her that, okay? Now, the older kids that after they're 18, they made contact, we still keep in contact. Jazz like that. It's not a bad thing. But can a manipulative sociopath destroy your life? Yes, it really works that way. And Trump is a sociopath. There's no words around what he is. He's not a nice human being. He's an abomination. Not just a business failure. I mean, he's literally an abomination. He's the physical embodiment of the 7 deadly sins. Everything that y'all talk about in your religion, in your Bible, and everything like that, and you say that you think that he's the coming Messiah, that he's the new orange Jesus or whatever. My word, y'all, I believe that's exactly what your book was written about. and you're going to be fooled, and you are the sheep that are being fooled. In the parables, people, I don't know if everybody gets this or not, but when they talk about sheep and goats, I've heard it a lot of times that the Christians are the sheep of the blah, 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 and the goats are the devil. Read those passages again a few times, because it doesn't say that at all. The goats are the ones that are not gluttons. The goats are the ones that don't die. The goats are it's backwards to the way they preach some of that crap, is what I'm trying to get at. And I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm not. There's a lot of good wisdom and whatever to be gleaned from any of those scriptures. Would I go and just murder 12,000 something people? Or no, that's a little bit Old Testament, I just mean the live and let live kind of stuff. But they don't take it like that. It's like, live to the way that my mind has shit fucked up, and that's the only way around that we get to do this. Y'all, there are a lot of you that's really screwed up. Bless your heart, but I'm just telling you like it is, Yeah, sorry. I don't mean nothing bad by that either. I just mean that some of y'all need to pull your ass out of your head out your ass. But I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying, vote your conscience, vote the way you honestly feel. Because if we have the Republicans one more time, we won't have to worry about voting anymore. That's almost a near fact. Democracy can't handle another 4 years. We still got 3 more years, 3 years and 3 months of this orange-faced lunatic. 4 more years after that would seal the deal. these ballots here, that's why I'm saying these little elections in between are really important. They were wanting money for the ambulance. I'm good for that. They were wanting higher taxes for something else. I'm okay with that. I don't mind paying taxes like when we had the new school bill. I don't mind paying taxes. My dad used to say it a lot when it came to school. And I never understood it then, but I do now, okay? I would rather pay taxes for good schools, good teachers, good curriculum, as I would to have to try to live in a world with stupid people. And the sad part is, you still get like stupid people, even though you try really hard. I'm just saying, if you don't try at all, they're really fucking stupid. In almost all of them. I mean, Trump is just a manipulator. He's using everybody's decisive little things in manipulating them not manipulate, well, that too. Capitalizing on them, in multiplying them is what I'm trying to get at. He doesn't just use racist. He doesn't just use sexual predators. He doesn't just use the uneducated. He doesn't just use the like science deniers or whatever, like that mentality. He doesn't just use one or another of this division, okay? He doesn't just use the religious lunatics. I mean, can you have religion and not be a lunatic? Well, yeah, everybody is slightly superstitious. But if you go around thinking that you're literally talking to a physical being, you might need more help than you think. Just saying. I'm not saying that karma and fate and different things play a part in the world, because even I believe that. That's what I'm saying. You can be a little superstitious. I believe if you do shitty things, then shitty things are going to happen to you, like over and over and over again. And then you wonder why that it happens. It's because you're a shitty human being. Now, can shitty things happen to good human beings? Yeah, they do. But normally, if you're a good human being, you avoid the shitty crowd and you go somewhere else, you know. In your book is what I'm trying to say. It says, be not a part of them. Come out of them. Stop giving your wisdom to somebody who's going to trample it underneath their feet like swine would pearls. That's what your book says. I'm only throwing back what your book says. If you are a Christian national person, I'm just telling you what the book says. Don't put wisdom in front of swine that are going to just wallow it into the mud. And you got to understand, no matter who you're talking to, it could be your best friend for life. It could be whoever, okay? At some point, it gets exhausting talking to somebody who just is too fucking dense to understand. I don't mean that bad. I just mean that real. Like, just as real as I can be. It's just exhausting talking to somebody who just refuses to come out of the ether. Like they're comfortable in the ether and they don't want to face reality, so they make the conversation as pointlessly stupid as they can. You know, that would be like me saying, getting anybody who converses with me is saying, oh, it was always my dream to run a marathon and to do this and to do that. Okay, that was never my fucking dream. I barely walked a couple marathons with my sister. She conned me into that shit. Whoa, Jack, that was never my gig, okay? And not because my legs were defective, just because that wasn't my thing, is what I'm trying to get at. I rode horses. I did a lot of stuff. I camped. I was constantly in the wilderness. I love going out on my own, just me, pocket knife, and a little bit of dry food, and that's it. Those are the things that I enjoyed to do. Running a marathon? No, that wasn't me, bub. I'll just be honest. You know, I mean, none of that is what I'm trying to get at. Now I kind of lost the direction that I was going, y'all. But what I was meaning is I'm only showing you what was in your book. You take it however you want, okay? And I'm not the best one for this. Like I said before, I had 2 Category 4 closed head injuries. I should be well off dead way long time ago. I've got to do a lot of the things that were my bucket list. Okay, I've kind of run out of bucket list stuff is what I'm trying to get at. Now I'm just fucking bored, just to be honest and straightforward about it. There's not a lot of, like I said, when people, it's just a guy I know, and he's having an issue with his arm, and I pray it gets better, okay? And he goes, I was wanting to cook, and I was wanting to do this, and I was wanting to do that. This motherfucker has never done anything more than make a bologna sandwich or throw a hot dog in the microwave. He eats like a 12-year-old adolescent. And now he wants to be Julia Childs because his shoulder's messing up. He has some use of his arm, but not all of it. But he wants, I don't know how you can say, oh, dude, I hate that for you, but he just continues to rehash it. And it's like, guy, come on, please stop. You got limited use of a bad arm. How many people around you in this world are so much fucking far worse than you are? Please stop. Pull up your big boy panties, unwad your panties and get them out of a knot and go on about life. And I say that realistically from a loving way because I'm paralyzed. I can't walk one step. You gotta accept what you can't do and just move forward. Not with billionaires, not with populist people, nothing like that. Pick the right candidate. Pick the candidate who's not going to screw you over, screw your kids over, screw your future and your grandkids over. As a population, y'all, we got billionaires who want to have 100 million kids and give horses to chicks that they want to make a hooker out of or whatever it is, or a prostitute or whatever. Use them like they're cattle. And then you got the rest of the population that is desperately afraid of even getting pregnant because they don't know how they're going to survive or pay for the kid or to give it a future. This is wrong. This is not sustainable. This is not, if we want to say that's the way it is, that's a good model, then okay, humanity needs to take, stage left and make an exit. Make room for robotics and androids for the rich to have their servants that'll work day and night and they can abuse and mistreat and do all the things they want. But the rest are going to have to go away because you can't have ultimate greed in humanity too. Our civilization can't work like that, y'all. What we've done in the last 400 years is not sustainable for another 100. It's not even sustainable for another 30 to be real. It'll look like Mad Max. This is not sustainable. The billionaires have to be reeled in. That it's not a maybe, y'all. This is for real. So I'm just going to leave it there because we got to our 20. Get out and vote. Serious. Every vote matters. Your voice, your opinion matters. At least it'll keep them in check. The next King's Rally or whatever, make sure that you attend. And not the biggest one. Go to the one that's local, where your voice needs to be seen. That made, our last one here made a huge difference in our area. People... They just assumed that the other person was for Trump too, until that was just a grassroots deal that proved that Trump is not popular. He can say whatever he wants. The Republicans can say whatever they want. He is not a popular individual. He's probably the least popular president we've had in a long, long time. Like, diehard least popular, you know. And I don't care what the polls say. I know they got him in the 30s or something like that. I don't even think he's that popular. And not even amongst the people that supported him, like the racists and the pedophiles and the criminals and everybody else that truly did support him, because that's who they are. Even with that crowd, he's no longer popular. Everybody has somebody affected by this SNAP issue, and hopefully the judges can get it to where the government has to give out the benefits that they've already taken the money for. The money's there. This is not a money issue. He's just trying to punish the people because everybody's not saying, oh, what a beautiful, magnificent, bigly brain you have. And boy, we would sure like more of that chucking and asshole fucking, I mean, that kind of mentality. No matter how bad he is, you're supposed to say, oh, you're the one, you're the greatest, you're the guy. Here, take another, oh, you took it all. Well, take some more too. That's what he's looking for. And can we do that as a population, as a species, as a culture, as a civilization? No, you can't do that to a dictator and survive. You're looking at North Korea next. That's what America, we would just be another pariah state with nuclear weapons like Russia. We would be no different. And now he wants to invade Venezuela, and I just heard that he was looking at slapping around Nicaragua now. Okay, this orange-faced lunatic needs to be removed from the White House in a padded jacket and go to a padded cell until he can be tried for all his other multitudes of crimes and be put away. If he's innocent, let him go. Let him move to Russia or some other country, whatever he wants to do. But at some point, we have to stop coddling a maniac, a sociopath. We can't do that, y'all. This is too important. We had a good run, but democracy is pretty much over if we don't get out and vote. All right, talk to you then. Bye.